1010XL, 92.5 FM.
The Hall of Famer, the Mafia, hidden cameras, and X-ray poker tables. Just another day in sports. This one on a Thursday. I am the Truth Teller. Good to have you with us. Rick Ballou with you tonight till 8 o'clock. We'll dive into this head first. That'll include the Philly Godfather in 33 minutes. But I'll just start by saying, are really any of us surprised about this? It's gone on forever. It's just about catching. You know, we had these conversations forever during the steroid era in Major League Baseball. You know, it's just off the wall. Is you'll have people say, "Oh, A-Rod, McGuire, Clemens, Bonds, they don't deserve to get into the Hall of Fame because of steroids." Has anyone ever had a problem with performance-enhancing drugs in the NFL? I mean, just look at the list. It's kind of accepted in the gladiator sport, has no effect at all on the Hall of Fame. But the flip side of that, certainly, it's almost sacred in Major League Baseball. Anyway, just wanted to point that out. But I am surprised this did not come out a lot sooner than it did. If you look at what is going on right now, okay, you are in bed. Your partner is legal gambling. And you're going to go back to the Mafia, and apparently, according to Kash Patel, 4 families involved, okay? This is arguably their oldest trade. It's right there with prostitution. It's right there with, obviously, shylocking. You know, it's right there with paying at least 1 point per week as far as your refund or payback. I mean, it is something that has never gone away or never will go away. And you can have legal gambling, but the Mafia is going to find their way one way or another to get involved in it, either directly with these companies or indirectly by doing something that is still underground in major cities here across the United States. So a big blow today, Damon Jones. I love this story. You know, he's a former coach, and I guess technically the definition on him was an unofficial coach with the Los Angeles Lakers a couple of years ago. Gave up LeBron and gave up his injury status before a matchup against Milwaukee, and betting tips were sent to professional gamblers to take the other side because the King was not going to play in this game. Obviously, all of these are only allegations at this particular point, but much more is going to come out. So it's Chauncey Billups. I remember when the Boston Celtics drafted him in the first round out of Colorado. He's currently the Portland Trailblazers head coach. Terry Rozier, obviously a guard in Miami, and who knows what else is going to happen. But again, we'll check into this with our good friend, the Philly Godfather. That'll be coming up at about 6:33. The FBI is involved. That gets us to down the road. Florida State defensive coordinator Tony White said this 2 days ago.
You do that all the time, bro. Like, that's real. Like, whoever it is, death threats, the worst DC in the country, you know, take you and your family and da-da-da-da-da. Like, guys, that's just part of social media, right? Like, you know, that's the vitriol that's out there, you know, but again, and that's what you sign up for in this profession, but that's not why I do it, you know.
All right, so that was a couple of days ago, and I openly wonder, where's Florida State on their investigation? That's their defensive coordinator saying he receives death threats. He receives death threats via social media. I would think that that's a pretty fast investigation where you're going to get results quickly, okay? This has to be investigated. And if it's not, it is another colossal mistake by my alma mater. You cannot throw out death threats. Unfortunately, we see it all the time now. There are far too many shootings. We can't explain why they take place. Hell, Florida State dealt with one in April. I don't trust Florida State's organization. I don't trust Florida State's franchise. My guess is that they're just going to do their best to sweep this right under the rug. You know, like they did the Mike Norvell black eye, which, again, in my opinion, was absolutely, totally unforgivable for the local media not to ask how he got a black eye. But they're so scared over there, okay, that they won't ask those questions. Now it's put on the president. Now it's put on the athletic director. Is the FBI investigating this? He went out and said he is receiving death threats, okay? He and his family. And as far as I'm concerned, I totally believe defensive coordinator Tony White. I'm scared for his safety. I'm scared for the safety of the other coaches and the players. I'm scared for the safety of the student body. I'm scared for the safety of Florida State fans. And the assumption is, oh, it's a pissed off FSU fan. What if it's not? What if it's someone trying to set someone up, doing things, and they're not even an FSU fan? Florida State fans have dealt with enough crap. Florida State fans have dealt with every possible thing that they can. They don't need this hanging over their head that they're throwing out there death threats to their defensive coordinator. Get it solved. Get people answers, okay? You can't just let this disappear. There are a lot of things you can. And we see it in politics. We see it in government. We see it in sports. But you can't throw out death threat and then not do anything about it. You have to answer the call here, regardless of what the circumstances end up being. Florida did it, cost Jim McElwain his job. Others have done it, I imagine. It's the worst possible place to go. First of all, it's the worst possible thing that can happen. And right now, where I'm at, I feel really bad for Tony White. He's doing his best to try to make things work. They're not working, okay? And no one is more passionate than I am. But a death threat? Come on. And you can't just accept that as, well, you know, heat of the moment, he made some comments. And I haven't really even begun to even explore that side of it. Right now, it's like a death threat. Man, do something, right? And I'd be interested in how you think. Is it like, oh, don't worry about it, Blitz, this is no big deal. He's blowing off some hot steam, yada, yada, yada. Or are you like, hey, man, we have problems all the time. Every couple of weeks we hear about shootings. Every couple of weeks. And a lot of times there's warning signs, right? Well, this is a freaking warning sign, all right? Someone's sending him death threats. I just know that the Mickey Mouse operation over there, I have a feeling that unless they're pressed, unless someone gets right on them and forces it, they just hope this blows right away. And we'll see if the local media does its job. I mean, think about it for a minute. Really, just isolate yourself to the term. All right, to the two words. Death threat. There's nothing more severe. There's nothing more serious right now at Florida State than the fact that there is a death threat out there on the defensive coordinator. What are they going to do about it? Are you scared to go over there next week against Wake Forest? Are you one of those, oh, it would never happen to me? I don't care. Hey, 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can join us tonight on YouTube. Always great to see you folks, and you can do that at 1010XL into the night. I've always had a problem with leadership in a lot of areas, all right? not only do they need to thoroughly investigate this, they need to be transparent and tell the Florida State community exactly where they are, and at the conclusion of the investigation, they need to tell the Florida State community exactly what happened. Who did they arrest? Who was it? Where did it come from? Etc. Why do I believe again that it's going to watch this thing blow away? That's really, really a shame. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they're on it. I do. I mean, God knows they got a ton of things to do over there at Florida State right now. But McCullough and Alford, this should be priority number one. Find out what the hell happened and where it came from. If it's social media, I got to believe it's a very, very, very easy way to monitor that, right? I mean, I have no idea. I'm sure it's an alias. I'm sure you made up some stupid name and sent it, but you can still figure out where that came from, right? I mean, I got to believe the answer to that question is yes. And stuff like this happens quite a bit that maybe we don't hear about, not necessarily in sports, but maybe in private practice or, with business. Look at some of the business leaders, corporation leaders that have been gunned down, okay, because they don't agree with the policy. They don't agree with what they do. We've seen examples of this. It's right there. I hope Tony White's okay. I really do. And I hope Florida State does something about it. All right, Shmunez Vision. They always bring you in to get things rolling here on a Thursday edition of Into the Night. Remember, the number one goal at Shmunez Vision, they're going to give you more value for your money. All right, it's as simple as that. As we continue to move forward in life, the technology is really pretty incredible. And you go to a lot of these practices, and they're going to take you from one machine to another and another. And what does that mean? Ding, ding, ding. They're going to charge you more. Now, that top-notch equipment, that technology, they have it all at Shmunez Vision. But here's the deal. You may not need it, okay? It may be simply an eye examination. You get your prescription. You talk about perhaps laser eye surgery, and that's it. So there are scenarios where it's not necessary, in that it is not needed. Remember, at Shmunez Vision, they're going to give you the most value for your money. 37 years worth of surgery experience. Dr. Neo Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt. Check him out online, Shmunez Vision. Check him out on Instagram at Shmunez Vision. Jam-packed on this Thursday. It's great to have you with us. Dylan Denmark is here. My name is Rick Ballou. We call this Into the Night.
1010XL.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh,
You hear it too.
what do you hear?
The voice. 1010XL.
He does have a warm, attractive voice, doesn't he?
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,700 5-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, but only until October 31st. 18-month financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Ballou here. Small business owners need trucks and vans to keep your business moving. Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram Westside has Ram 1500s, the heavy-duty 2500s, Pro Masters and custom uplifts ready to work. Visit them on Commonwealth Avenue or go online to jackswest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram Westside, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local partner for work-ready vehicles.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now's the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of December, you can join and save $1,500 off their initiation fee plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Tired of plumbers trying to sell you instead of help you? At Superior Plumbing and Pipeline, we do things differently. We hire real plumbers, not salesmen, and we never pay commission. That means no upselling, no pressure, and no unnecessary repairs. Just honest, expert work at a fair price. So the next time you need a plumber you can trust, make the superior choice and call Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, where quality comes first and honesty is standard. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. No commissions, just solutions. Learn more at SuperiorPlumbingJacks.com.
You already know it's your main man E to the T here for Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft. And with ball season here, make sure you're on the lookout for my instant reaction before, during, or after the game. All brought to you by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree drafts. Come on, somebody.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
Hello, all you Jacksonville sports fans. Don here from Taco Lou. If you're in the mood for some great tacos, cold Dos Equis, and maybe even a sip of some fine tequila, then the Lou is calling your name. Come out to Jack's Beach and experience what many have dubbed the #1 taco in the 904. There are plenty of great taco joints in town, and we're proud to have been around for this long, and we have only you, the fine people of Jacksonville, to thank for helping us grow and become who we are today. Cheers to you, Jacksonville, and thank you from the Lou crew. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's team time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. I'll tell you about them in just a moment. Tomorrow night, game 1 of the World Series. Bo Bichette looks like he's going to be back. He's been out since early September with a bad knee, actually taking ground balls, not at short, but over at second base. So that'll absolutely help the Toronto Blue Jays, who are a big-time underdog to the Los Angeles Dodgers. We have Monday Night Football tonight. Chargers-Vikings.
Thursday
Pretty
night.
excited about that.
Thursday Night Football. You said Monday night.
I thought I said tonight.
Oh, you did?
Maybe.
My bad.
Who knows what I say, But here's what I'll tell you. When I do say something, I'm always held accountable for it. How are you doing, Dylan?
I'm excellent, Rick.
Yeah.
I'm sure just like you, we've heard so much about Lane Kiffin coming to Florida and what he wants, what he doesn't want. I'm ready for November to get here, to the season to end, and to know what's going to happen, because I want to know. I'm itching to know who's going to be the coach of Florida.
Yeah, I kind of enjoy everything now. I don't want to give up these days, but going into Boomer Sooner Land on Saturday at high noon, they catch a break there. I think it's easier for a road team to certainly win at noon than it is to win at 3:30 or 7:30 at night. But We'll find out about Mississippi. I was talking with a big-time Gator fan a little bit earlier today, and obviously that was the conversation. Are they going to be able to get Lane Kiffin? And I'm like, well, if it holds true, you got this massive game against Oklahoma. You have very winnable games against South Carolina, the Citadel, and the Egg Bowl at Mississippi State, not to mention at the Swamp in Florida. Just looking at it, I would say just by showing up, they're going to win at least the last 4 games. That one at Oklahoma is going to be a battle. But, I mean, this could be an 11-1 Mississippi team or a 10-2 Mississippi team that is going to go to the college football playoff.
Yeah, and Ole Miss has not won 3 straight 10-win seasons. I don't know if ever. The last time they went back-to-back was 1959-1960, and he did that the last 2 years. So Kiffin's an exceptional coach, and it's gonna be his decision. People have been debating all week which job is better. Only one person is going to make that decision. That's going to be Lane Kiffin.
If I'm Lane Kiffin, I'm really weighing happiness and pressure. If I had my say, he'd be the guy that I'd want Florida State to get. Without even thinking, it's Lane Kiffin. And I think most of our listeners right now are saying the exact same thing for the Florida Gators. Go out and get him. Now, if he goes to either one of those 2 programs, and if I was setting odds on it, right now I would have to say Florida a significant favorite over Florida State, once again, just because of this simple fact that Florida State right now can't get out of its own way. I mean, everything they do turns to rubbish. At Mississippi, he can do this every year, and he's going to be their favorite son. He has made Mississippi relevant. At Florida, the expectations are going to increase. He's going to get compared to Spurrier. Not to Urban, but to Spurrier as being kind of the outspoken, quirky at times, not afraid to go after opponents, not afraid to go after his own players. It's going to be immensely intriguing, but it's also going to be a whole hell of a lot of pressure. So if he's making $10 million now and they redo a deal and pay him, do you go for it all? And by going for it all is to win a national title. And remember, this guy earlier in his career, he was at Tennessee and USC. So he's already been the 2 blue bloods. You have a chance to win a national title if you build up Florida. Do you go there under the pressure, or do you cruise along and be, taken for what you are at Mississippi?
Yeah, there's no doubt. And, there's been a lot of people. There was Conor O'Gara that was on the radio station. It was either earlier today or yesterday. And Tim Brando, who, we have on regularly, they believe he's staying.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh Pate, listened to his show, who covers college football. He said last year, Lane Kiffin's going to Florida. There's no doubt. Now, it's 50-50.
Right.
So, and who knows? I mean, you laid out the schedule. I mean, his mind can change in the next 6 weeks. I mean, so much can change between now and then.
The recent fascination in God's country is with Jimbo. And when you mention Jimbo Fisher in Florida State, my reaction is, hell no. Are you kidding me? This guy walked out on the family. This guy stopped. He stopped everything. Now, the things that he wanted, he ended up being right, okay? Everything that he moaned about has come to fruition at Florida State. I never, and I can't think of really one example. When it comes to something, you may agree with my opinion or you may flat out hate my opinion, but I always take a side. I never ride the middle of the fence and just kind of get blown away by, whatever does take place. I can't explain if it's coming from my head. I can't explain if it's coming from my heart. I want to say it's coming straight from my gut because that's what college football gives you. There's something in the pit of your gut that, frankly, you don't get from other sports. And I keep going through this time and again and time and again and time and again and say, Jimbo's a great recruiter. Jimbo is a good coach. He's not a great coach. He was a great coach with Jameis Winston, okay? He was a good coach with Ponder and Manuel and Sean McGuire and whoever else he had up until the very end, okay? But with Florida State being such a dumpster fire, maybe he is the guy for the job. Again, my initial reaction was, no way. This is no way you can bring him back after what he did. But they say in what? A lover's quarrel, a divorce, a separation, right? You can forgive. You're not going to forget. You can forgive. Does this become a forgivable situation for Jimbo Fisher and Florida State? The only way that I would sign off on this, there has to be something within that contract that makes sense for the Seminoles. You don't make Jimbo Fisher the highest paid coach in college football. You don't make Jimbo Fisher the top 5 highest paid coach in college football. Jimbo's going to have to give a little bit back here. Okay? You're going to give him another opportunity. You make it incentive-laden. You put escalators in there where it can increase based on how well the football team does, with the ultimate prize being 12-team college football playoff. All right? But you have to get him, if he wants this job that bad, he should be willing to take less. I mean, he doesn't need any more money. He got paid at Florida State, and he set a record, that $100 million deal. Look at his buyout. It's still the largest in the history of college football. I believe some of that is deferred. I don't know. I don't really dive that deep into contract buyouts, whether it's James Franklin a month ago or Jimbo. But he doesn't need money. So he didn't have to sit there and say, pay me $10 million a year. Maybe you pay him $5 million. You really want the job, Jimbo? We're going to pay you less than value and give you an opportunity to earn more based on the team's success. Easy for me to say. I don't believe Jimmy Sexton is going to sign off on that. But maybe you make an exception here. So we head to this break. Actually, I'll save that a little bit later on in the program when I get back to this. I have some thoughts on Deion Sanders. I just can't believe how Florida State fans hate Deion Sanders. I mean, all Deion Sanders did was do his job. He went and got Travis Hunter and took him to Jackson State. Yet there are far more people that are upset with Deion Sanders than they are with Jimbo. Most people I hear from are open arms for Jimbo. And like, you've got to be kidding me here. Now, for the record, I'm not where I once was with Deion, because unfortunately, I really do believe there are health issues for prime time. And I don't think you can bring him in. It's just one health-related issue after another. All right, real quick, tonight's show brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. Go to alexanderlawpractice.com. Free call, 400-6600, and free consultation. Listen, if you have been injured and you are alone and you feel there's no way or nowhere to turn, wrong. Go to Rick Alexander, make the phone call today, and he is personally going to look at your case. Questions will come up, questions that you ask, like, I don't have any money and I got to get my car repaired. I don't have any money and I can't pay my medical bills. These are the type of questions you ask Rick Alexander. You'll never come out of pocket. Never, okay? Everything will be taken care of. And then, of course, at the end of the case, when you reap the benefits, things will certainly become all square at that particular time. But you're in need now. Rick Alexander. Go to alexanderlawpractice.com. And again, a free consultation, 400-6600. The Philly Godfather is next.
The Gator Boys are back and ready to defend their national title.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
This is Gator Country. Your home for Gators Hoops is 1010XL.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
Jacksonville, hunting season is here, and nobody gears you up like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. They've got everything for all seasons: archery, black powder, and general gun season. Green Acres is a fully stocked Browning dealer with ammo, accessories, and safes. Don't miss out on Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday, happening now through the end of the year. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
Frank Frangie here. Looking for a dealership that makes car buying easy? Let me tell you why Nimnick Buick GMC is the place to shop. At Nimnick, you'll find unbeatable prices, a huge selection of Buicks and GMCs, plus flexible financing that works around your budget. Whether it's a new SUV, a work-ready truck, or a certified pre-owned, they've got you covered. They back it up with trusted service and transparent deals. Don't wait. Shop 24/7 online at nimnickbuickgmc.com or visit the showroom on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 23rd, 2000, the New York Jets put together an improbable comeback with 4 touchdowns and a field goal in the fourth quarter, which was dubbed the Monday Night Miracle.
Kick it here for Zero Res. Are you scared of ghosts? Of course you're not. They aren't nearly as scary as some of the things that Zero Res sees in those air ducts straight out of a horror film filled with spooky ducks. Gross dander, creepy cobwebs, which is why Zero Res is here to banish monsters hiding in your vents. Don't be afraid of ghosts. Be afraid of what's in your air ducts. Call Zero Res today and take advantage of our October special. Mention 1010XL. They're offering 15% off duct and dryer vent cleaning. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean. Zero Res.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. From estate cleanouts to furniture and appliance removal, we handle it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? You know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. Since 1927, Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821, CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville, Hickens, calling it. Checkmate Coating, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
He is a best-selling author. He is a professional handicapper. He is also well-versed in the world of fixing games. He is the great Philly Godfather. Sir, how are you?
A lot of action this morning with all these arrests. A lot of scandals going on.
and it's starting to get wild in the NBA.
When are they going to learn, Philly Godfather, that sooner or later you're going to get caught? Or am I wrong? Have a lot of things gone by that at least I'm not aware of?
Yeah, obviously not everyone gets caught, but when they do get caught, they got to suffer the consequences. And no matter how much money people make, it seems that some people get tempted, that they want to take a bite out of that forbidden fruit. When we got guys here that are making big money, Chauncey Billups and other guys, and I read a report that over the last 2 years they made about $7 million over, what they were doing. So that doesn't seem a lot of money for people that make $2, $3, $5, $10 million a year. But they get tempted, and that forbidden fruit must taste good, and they take a bite.
Yeah, I think greed really comes in. I mean, take the purse and then get out of it, but that never really seems to be the case.
No, and you don't know what they're caught up in. I mean, what their debts are. You know how deep they fall in. And if you do get caught up and you fall in deep, and now they got to control you, and then you got issues, and you got to listen, and things don't end up well at the end.
And you write about it in your book, which is called Book. By the way, how do the listeners get it, Philly Godfather?
Yeah, you can go to phillybooked.com, and I'll send you out an autographed copy. Take about 3 to 7 business days, or you go to Amazon. It's shipped to order, and you'll get it the next day.
Final question before we get to the games, and again, I know it's written about in your book, but what was the process like when you knew the FBI was sniffing around and it involved was it Tim Donaghy that you were involved in and others were involved in? What was that process like, trying to figure out when, in fact, you were going to get contacted?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was 2,500 miles away when it all went down, but I knew of it for a couple of years. And you're just waiting for it to fall. You're just waiting for it to fall apart because all these schemes, all these master plans, they have an expiration date. And when it hits the fan, it hits really hard. And my friend Jimmy Batista was extremely lucky in the way where, he would have been looking at a lot more time. He ended up doing about a year, but he would have done a lot more time because his lawyer threatened to put every NBA referee on the stand to testify. And that's when the NBA made the call, gave Jimmy a 1-year deal. They just wanted to, wash the thing away and get rid of it.
There you go. Philly Godfather, our guest. Certainly read his book called Booked. Some phenomenal stuff in there. His life. All right, let's, interesting week around here because no Florida State, Florida, or Jaguar football. So let's get to a couple of big games in the in the Southeastern Conference. Mississippi and Oklahoma. This is in Norman. How do you see this one, Philly Godfather?
Yeah, Sunday night, this line opened up with Oklahoma -3. It quickly shot up to -5.5 on the Sooners. The total opened up at 50.5, and it's climbed as high as 54.5. Had some resistance, and it settled back down to where it currently at 53.5. As for the bet splits in the U.S. and offshore markets, right around 65% of the early tickets are on Oklahoma. When I handicap this matchup, I typically look to back the home team with the stronger defense in this type of situation, which is Oklahoma. However, the Sooners' tendency to turn the ball over too much this season, too often, it makes me hard to lay the points here. 5.5 seems like a big number for a team that ranks outside the top 100 turnover margin. At the current number of 5.5, I'm hoping the line ticks up to 6, and that's where I'll look to enter the market. I'll look to take the dog here, +6, Ole Miss +6.
All right.
Oklahoma's offensive line ranks 94th in sacks allowed, and Ole Miss is 14th. So that turnover margin is big for me. I like Ole Miss +6.
I think Mateer had three turnovers in the matchup a couple of weeks ago against Texas. Let's go from Texas to Texas A&M. They go to LSU at night. Your thoughts here?
Yeah, if I told college football fans before the season started that LSU would be catching 2.5 points at home versus Texas A&M in Week 9, I think most people would have looked at me funny.
Right.
But here we are. I mean, A&M opened up a -2.5 point road favorite. The total's 49. Early bet splits are basically 50-50. I like LSU here. I'm sitting patiently. I hope it gets to +3 so I can grab the better number. But if it doesn't, I'll probably still play LSU +2.5 and might even look to take the money line as well. LSU is the better defensive team. They turn the ball over less. They're the hungrier team with 2 losses on the season. Meanwhile, the Aggies have only faced one opponent ranked inside the top 20 in opponent yards per play this season, which was Auburn, and they can only put up 16 points in that game. LSU also ranks inside the top 20 in that metric, but they're 60 spots better than Auburn offensively in yards per play. I like LSU here, +3, +2.5 on the money line. I think you get paid regardless.
Yeah, I tell you what, last week I was surprised they were dogs to Vandy, and Vandy went out and won that game. So we'll see if they can respond here. Always a tough place to play at night. Philly Godfather, tell our listeners how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, you can go to my website, thephillygodfather.com, or you can find me on X at Philly Godfather.
Short week for Houston, San Francisco, Houston coming up on Sunday. How do you see it?
Yeah, as of right now, the 2-4 Texans are anywhere from a -1.5 to 2-point home favorite over the 5-2 49ers. So that's a little tell right there. The early action is all over San Francisco. Around 70% of the early action is on the 49ers. This is one of my bigger bets of the weekend. I like the Texans big on the money line. They really can't afford to go to 2-5 on the season, especially with that Colts team likely to move to 7-1 after they beat the Titans this week. Houston's entire season is on the line here. The good news is the 49ers keep getting more and more banged up each week. Their current team health score is 16 points lower than Houston's. I like the Texans here. I think they get it done. It's their entire season here. They're better on the defensive side of the football. They're healthier. I think they got a +16 health score better than San Francisco. So, yeah, it's a big bet for me, Texans on the money line.
All right, Texans there. Yeah, Indy should be an easy win. And, boy, their schedule begins to get tough after Indianapolis. But we will see. I tend to agree with you with the Houston Texans. Let's wrap it up with the Bears and the Ravens. The Ravens coming off a bye.
Yeah, the price on this game feels kind of big, right? They want you to lay 6.5 on a 1-5 team. So they're basically telling you Lamar Jackson is back. He's playing for the Ravens with that high price. The Bears have been playing some solid football. They won, 4 straight. And if they didn't give away that first game to the Vikings the first week of the season, they'd be 5-1. Defensively, Chicago leads the NFL with 16 takeaways, 11 of which are interceptions. I haven't bet the game yet, but last I heard, 2 of the Bears' defensive guys, their starting linebacker Edmonds and their nickel corner Kyler Gordon, they might not play this weekend. So that could be a big problem for the Bears defense. I like the Ravens here -6.5. I also put them in a 7-point teaser. I tied them in with the Texans. So you can basically get the Ravens at +0.5 point and the Texans at +5.5. But I still think they cover the spread. So Ravens -6.5.
There you have it from the Philly Godfather. How do they get the book, Philly Godfather?
Yeah, go to phillybook.com, or you can stop by Amazon, ship to order. You'll get it the next day.
And give them the website and how they can get you on X.
Yeah, on X at Philly Godfather, and the website is thephillygodfather.com.
Thank you.
Good luck, guys.
There he goes. Philly Godfather. Very latest there. So, he's second consecutive week, he's told us he's playing a 7-point teaser. I'll have to check back on how the teaser went last week. Do you remember? I think I have it written down here. Why don't we do that on the other side of this break? Because I know Philly Godfather fans, if you don't already know, you have to be wondering, right? I would think so. We got much more to do with you tonight till 8 o'clock.
1010XL.
Did you hear that?
Hear what? 1010XL.
1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest-A-Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest-A-Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestaProsAnyFlorida.com. That's RestaProsAnyFlorida.com.
Rest-A-Pros!
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryant, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Googans, Hicken here, and I just want to once again give you this very simple reminder. Wear sunscreen. If you're outside a lot, bring the screen. Put some in your truck, on your boat, in your golf bag, whatever, wherever, just use it. Please. It's hot out there, and I just want you to protect yourself. I use it like it's cool because I think it is. But what's not cool, that's skin cancer. You don't want to deal with that. Go get yourself checked out. It could save your life. Go to beachesdermatology.com and schedule your appointment today. That's beachesdermatology.com.
This is Dylan Denmark with 1010XL, and Kuhn Flowers will do your holiday tree decorating, including all of your lights. Wow! So call on Kuhn Flowers today. They'll do it all this fall.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pest Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I archived the Philly Godfather. I just do. Last week he had the 7-point teaser. He took Indy, made it basically even. I think he was actually catching a half point. And actually it was 1, right? So he would have been getting 6 points.
Yeah.
I think... I'm not sure. But anyway, I didn't write it down. I just wrote down Indy and LAC. And then he took the Jags. And so he ended up losing that 7-point teaser. But I really kind of spent some time on that last week about how when I did bet, and I don't bet anymore, as far as you know, 7-point teasers, man, it's hard enough to win one game. Now you have to turn around and win 2 games. So we will see. Someone here on the text line says, Ballou. It is from The Mint at 1010XL Into the Night on YouTube. Sports gambling has ruined sports. I understand that way of thinking. I do. When I got into this business 34 years ago, there were hardcore journalists who refused to talk about the point spread.
Well, wasn't the only one really, I know not a journalist, but it was Brett Musburger was really like the only one I felt like he would go there, and everybody else was like too taboo about it.
Al Michaels.
Well,
they would always bring, I mean, you're too young to remember Pete Axthelm and Jimmy the Greek, Snyder, and, the original, who is the guy from USA Today, Danny Sheridan. But I wish I could think of. I know Jay Mariotti was one that I worked with in Chicago, but there are people that and it's so odd because I mean you go to every stadium, you go to every game, you listen to the radio, you watch television, and it's gambling. Yet I do a hit every week on the Jaguars pregame on the official Jaguars radio network. And I did one like a year ago or 2 years ago, and it involved Jacksonville being an underdog. And I said they were like a 3 or a 4-point dog, and it wasn't accepted. I had to redo it. So there's like the Jaguars radio network. The people who are on the show cannot talk about the odds, yet you'll run commercials about the odds.
Well, and I'll give you a better one. I'm sure some people saw this on Twitter like I did. ESPN, I think it's the show Get Up. It's one of the morning shows they do. And they're talking about the NBA and the FBI investigation, yada, yada, yada. And they're talking about it, and they go on for about a minute. And then they take down, that little ticker at the bottom that has the scores and it tells you the big storylines. And then the bottom right corner says, ESPN bet. They go a minute into that segment, and then they take it down. It's like, come on, people. What are we doing? ESPN, they're going to want this story to go away. They're going to talk about the game tomorrow, and then they're probably not going to talk about it again.
That's a mess. No doubt. See, the leagues are smart enough to understand that whether it's legal or illegal, people are still going to bet. You can really kind of tie marijuana into this as well. If you were to dig up some folks who have been, gone for the past decade or so and told them that, depending on what state you're in, you can smoke dope. What's the dope rule here? Can you smoke dope legally in Florida?
Honestly, I don't think so. I don't. It was on the ballot. I can't remember what the ruling was.
I should know. I don't. But you go to some cities, man, and it's just out of this. I mean, spend a minute in Denver, in the middle of the city. You were just there, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Seattle, New York, San Francisco. And I'm not talking not only the Haight and Ashbury. I'm talking about drop dead in the middle of San Francisco, Los Angeles. I guess Vegas. I was there last year. I'm going next week for the Jags game. But it's almost too much.
Yeah. Recreational weed is not legal in Florida, but medical marijuana is legal.
Okay. I love the smell of it, but it's almost too much. And, I don't know how you can fix that, but, I mean, in some of these cities, it's pretty crazy. So, you heard of the Philly Godfather on the Tim Donaghy thing that happened years ago. You have folks who come forward. They get amnesty. You have folks who come forward. They rat out others, and typically they just plead themselves out. I don't know what's going to happen here. The RICO Act, I imagine, is going to come into play, which is scary for the mafia. All right, because, when that law was passed, you can tie in all sorts of crimes really under one umbrella. You don't hear a lot about that anymore, since Rudy Giuliani and I guess created on the heels of Bobby Kennedy. But that was put into effect to get the mafia, right? Racketeer, influenced, corrupt organization. That's the RICO Act. And that is going to be, I think, with Kash Patel and the FBI, that's exactly what they're going to do here with the mafia. So don't be surprised that if you hear about them being involved in cash payouts for betting information, all of a sudden you hear that there are other far more significant charges that are brought up under this umbrella. It could happen. then again, this thing could be pleaded out, and it just goes away. Obviously, it's going to cost Chauncey Billups his job, Terry Rozier's job, Damon Jones, the unofficially a coach. I love that determination there. Who was the former Knoll who was brought up on some of this rumor-wise recently? There was a Knoll basketball player. Was it Malik Beasley? It kind of came up and went away.
Yeah, that was a couple months ago.
Right. Yeah, but it was a story. Remember? And again, it just went away. But it just kind of came to me right now.
I see this headline: Malik Beasley cleared an NBA gambling probe, but still subject of FBI inquiry.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, we know more names are going to come out. They always do. Because everyone's going to save their ass. And what's the best way to save your ass? Become a rat. Remember Jack Nicholson and The Departed? Got a stinking rat around here. And then he drops the, what in the F-bomb is this guy doing in my bar? Jack Nicholson, man. The best.
It's your boy, Big Sirs, all-pro lineman and your lemon pepper guy. Nothing screams game day like Wingstop. But get this, every Saturday and Sunday this football season, score big with Wingstop special deals. Order a 100-piece wing pack online at wingstop.com or the Wingstop app using promo code JAX20 and get $20 off. That's right, carry out or delivery. It's your call. Use online promo code JAX20 for $20 off a 100-piece wing pack. Fire up your game day order this weekend with Wingstop.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
San Jose Collision is hiring for an automotive detailer and porter. If you're detail-oriented, dependable, and love working with cars, apply in person at San Jose Collision in Mandarin. Valid driver's license required.
Jacksonville, it's game time. And just like the Jaguars fight for every yard on the field, Duck Duck Rooter fights for every customer at home. From plumbing repairs to septic pump outs to keeping your AC cool all season long, we've got the winning playbook. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and delivers championship service every time. When plumbing, septic, or AC problems put you on defense, don't fumble the call. Dial 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During our fall savings month, get 20% off your replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, or 0 interest for 12 months. Our Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer ends October 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
Celebrating 30 years in Jack's Beach. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn is your go-to for cash on the spot. They buy gold. Huge sale on firearms all month. Save during Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday with no sales tax on firearms. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach.
Hear the Florida Gators all season on 1010XL. Unlocked by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. The law firm of Farah and Farah and Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Go Gators! Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey folks, this is Denny Thompson, and when it comes to protecting my home, I turn to Tyson, the leaders in state-of-the-art home security right here in Jacksonville. Their AI cameras and smart doorbells are top-notch, keeping an eye on what matters most. Whether you're moving in or upgrading, Tyson offers flexible packages, rent or own, with specials on the first 3 years. Ramp up now for the holidays. The perfect gift for you or someone you love. Call Tyson today at 590-7979 for details.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Yeah!
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I want to make our way to Travis Hunter here. I've been dying to get to this. But back to the wager we were talking about. I have always thought that fantasy football is evil. And, the reason for that, if you're a gambler, okay, you can stay away from your team. Or you can do what I used to do, and that's pay for a win, which means you'd gladly bet against your team and come up with a amount of cash that you still hope your team wins, but if they lose, at least there's somewhat of a consultation. There's still a little bit of, there's some cash coming to you. Fantasy, man, I just can't imagine, going up against Jacksonville and you have a player or two on the other team. Now, maybe you can be creative enough to bench them that week or creative enough just not to play. I don't know. But I still, as a traditional gambler as opposed to fantasy, and I'm in fantasy for the first time ever this year, with a good buddy of mine. He's basically doing everything, and I'm just going to be around to pocket the cash and add a little bit of there's so much money being made in this. I figured I need to grab some myself.
Fantasy football is one of the main reasons why the NFL has exploded in the last 25 years.
I'd agree with that. It makes casual fans more passionate because of their fantasy team. But has it taken away from fandom a little bit? What if you are playing a guy against your team and you lose by a field goal, but that on the other side you had a wide receiver who scored a couple of touchdowns, so you're going to win that week in fantasy football. Maybe it takes you to the playoffs, you win a playoff round. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot easier to deal with the fact that your team lost.
I understand what you're trying to say. It doesn't feel as bad. Like in gambling, if you're betting on the other team, say, to cover the spread or to win outright against your team, there is guilt is not the word, but you feel a certain type of way. In fantasy, at least for me, and I feel like my friends, you don't feel that way in fantasy. It's just like it is what it is.
Maybe. This is only the first year I've done it.
Unless it's like a rare scenario where you need this guy to win, it's the last Sunday night game, a Monday night game, and I need him to get 30 points. So I need, 2 touchdowns and 150 yards. Maybe that's a little different, but by and large, not really.
We have one Jaguar on our team. Can you guess who that is?
I'd probably say Brian Thomas Jr.
Cam Little.
Love it.
It has not gone well. And that was like my only input back when we were talking. I was like, we got to get a kicker soon. We got to get a Cam Little, man.
With a good leg.
I've been out of practice every day, man. This guy hasn't missed yet. This guy's been kicking them from 70 yards, wind, monsoons. It doesn't matter. I still think he's going to be fine out of all the problems that really every team has, and that includes the Jaguars. I'm not worried about Cam Little. All right, we had a good conversation yesterday, and I got a tremendous amount of feedback on concerns and how fixable are they right now with this football team. Really one of the headlines was Brian Thomas Jr. And I think, you're in kind of a wait-and-see process now where you're not giving up on Thomas. There's no way this organization is. You've seen the talent. You've seen the production. Yes, there are worries that him and Lawrence are never going to be on the same page, especially after a year ago where Mac Jones had better numbers. But, I think for the most part, we all agreed yesterday that where Jacksonville should be is Travis Hunter getting the majority of the targets offensively. I read about it again today, and I keep hearing this. Play him full time. Play him all the time on offense. Play him all the time on defense. I'm gonna step on the brakes here. I think it's too much too early. I believe that eventually could be the deal. Maybe as early as next year. But I don't agree with that right now. If you look at the numbers so far, 7 games in, including last week, 67 snaps on 77 offensive plays. He played 14 defensive plays. 323 offensive plays so far this year, 162 on defense. Where I am at is you need to sacrifice what's happening on defense. Buster Brown, ever since he has returned from his injury, he's playing good football. He is. Jordan Lewis had a bad game against L.A. Jordan Lewis is playing good football. All right? You can still use Hunter here and there, but those are your primary corners. You got to figure out what you're going to do here with Newsome. Even with the bye week, is there any chance that Jones can come back, even if you stick him back in the slot, okay, and keep Lewis? Now, maybe that makes you weaker in 2 spots. I don't know. Lewis plays very well in the slot, but it appears that this organization has given up on Jarian Jones, at least for the time being. I'm not saying for his career, but under this defensive scheme, he's not even playing. I think he's got like 5 snaps in the last 5 games. He's had, I think, 3 goose eggs in the last 5 games. So right now he doesn't apply. Christian Braswell doesn't apply. I mean, those are active players. Those are special teams players. Those are guys that are on the sideline and they're not helping out your defense on Sunday. But Buster Brown does. So that is where I would go. This is what Jacksonville needs to try to do immediately with Travis Hunter. Man, you got to reach for his ceiling, his rookie year ceiling. He's going to be a better football player next year. He's going to be a better football player in 2027. But I'm talking about his ceiling this year. And the route tree has been disappointing. All right? They haven't taken enough shots to him downfield. Even last week, again, if you didn't watch the game, you look at the numbers and say, wow, it was a breakout game for Travis Hunter, where, you true Jaguar fans know that came in garbage time. It did. It's still encouraging because it's the future, but this is where I believe this team is. They've really squandered offensively the last 2 weeks, right? I would much rather have this football team lose a game 38-34, 34-31 than to lose a game by scoring, 12 points like they did a week ago? And the offense has really been suspect the last couple of weeks. Now, so much of that is aided by the fact that they're not getting any pass protection, and they also have not been able to get any sort of rushing attack in the last 2 games. 12 points last week, 7 points, 4 days ago. That's 19 points in the last 2 weeks, man. I can do the average there. That's 9.5 points that you've averaged in the last 2 weeks. No. Travis Hunter time. Travis Hunter, more targets. Travis Hunter, additionally added routes. Travis Hunter, see what he can do. Take him to the ceiling of his rookie year. Go find it. I remember that game against Seattle. And again, Trevor's only holding on to the ball for a smidge over 2 seconds. But watching him, it felt like he didn't even have the opportunity in some routes, which I felt he was a decoy, to even turn his head around and look at the quarterback. Okay? That's a rookie. Either that or Trevor was just under just insane pressure and had to get rid of the football prior to that, which I really think it's kind of a combination of them both. He needs to spend the majority of his time with Edgar Bennett. He needs to spend the majority of his time with the offensive coaches. You can't expect both right now. You just cannot. And unfortunately, Brian Thomas Jr. has been a disappointment. Diami Brown has been a disappointment. Your two best wide receivers are Travis Hunter and Parker Washington. Getting back Brenton Strange is going to help. Now, I understand Brown had an injury. And, we try to talk our way through what's going on with Brian Thomas Jr. We don't know. I'm not saying give up on those guys. They're still absolutely a huge part of the game plan. But Travis Hunter should be number one. So that's my thought on this with Hunter. And again, we'll monitor it. I have the numbers here week to week. I keep them. And it's been kind of an interesting scale, defensively, the way that he has been used. And what's funny is watch this, Dylan. Now that I make this claim, okay, this is what I believe they should do. Why do I believe that against Las Vegas, instead you're going to see Travis Hunter playing 50 snaps on defense? You know what I mean?
They're going to be like, oh, we saw that one good play against Devontae Adams. We're going to start playing with defense. And we schemed up enough plays on the bye week to not need them on offense.
Listen, they know a hell of a lot more than I do, okay? I'm just offering up my opinion on what I believe they should do. I think, 15... He had 14 snaps last week, and it was a blowout. If it's a closer game, okay, perhaps some more snaps. But I want the majority on offense. I want everything in order where he is aware of absolutely everything that they're trying to do on offense. Where on defense, you can plug and play based on situations. Again, you can go back to Seattle. And Jigba. A lot of people thought Travis Hunter should have been on him the entire game. He gave them their best chance. So, there's other people out there who would totally disagree with this and say exactly what I said, but put him on the defense. My problem is they're scoring 9.5 points in the last two games. You have Buster Brown. You don't have another guy right now offensively that is helping out this football team.
Yeah, and the question you have to ask yourself, I still think he's a better corner than he is receiver. And I would play him full-time defense. But the way the team is looking right now, if you want to win, you're at week 8, you have a bye. So from week 9 to week 18? And it is now, week 17, whatever?
Week 18, game 17.
So if you want to win as many games from here on out, I think he has to play offense.
No.
He's too electric, and with the ball in his hands, the offense can go through him. He's that good.
And there's a lot of things that could really evolve here. If you start going to Hunter time and again, does that change things for Thomas Jr.? Does that change things for Brown? Hopefully it does. And, so far it just hasn't worked for either one of those two. I mean, this is a colossal disappointment, this passing offense. I thought it was going to be the strength of this football team. I've always been concerned about the offensive line, and, you really wondered about the backs. You have two rookies that are a part of it, but let's be honest here. They've played well. Travis Etienne has played well. It's the passing offense that needs, and again, some of the numbers, some of the yardage can be a little bit misleading. I'm talking about first downs. I'm talking about better work in the red zone with their 50%. I'm talking about better work on third down with their 33%. Those two numbers, Liam Cohen was number 1 in the NFL a year ago in Tampa. Those numbers are going to improve. I'll be shocked if we wrap up this year and it's still a 50% red zone grade and a 33% third down. Wow. No way. I mean, that's going to get better. So if you want to voice your opinion on that, fine. I'd like to hear from you. It's a long-winded way of me saying I don't believe you can have both. It's the point now where it's one or the other. And this doesn't necessarily get away from what they told us. I mean, what did they tell us? 75-25? They told us he was primarily going to be an offensive player. So I have a feeling that, this is where they are going to end up going. I'm just looking back here as we head to this break. Cincinnati played 43 plays on defense, but that's when Jones went down.
Yeah.
And he's never really recovered.
That was was it mid-second quarter? That was sometime in the second quarter.
Yeah. Because on the opener against Carolina, he played 42 offensive plays, 6 defensive plays. Then he went 42-43 against Cincy. Then he went 37 offensive plays, 43 defensive plays against Houston. Then he went 38-9 against San Francisco. So it's been moving all over the place, including last week against L.A. Again, 67-14. It's a ton of snaps for this young guy. All right, Rafael Esparza, we're going to move him up a little bit tonight. He's got a bunch of NBA stuff. I think he's a television star because of the betting scandal. But we'll get him in for a few and find out what's going on with the NBA books and what he thinks is also going to come out of this just blockbuster story today in the NBA. If you have not heard, it involves giving up information on LeBron James. Allegedly. It also allegedly involves 4 mafia families. It involves a current coach in Chauncey Billups in Portland, a current player in Terry Rozier in Miami, and a former Cavaliers coach in Damon Jones. So it just goes on and on. So we'll do that. No doubt about it. That's coming up on the other side. We're with you tonight until 8 o'clock.
With so many stars on the field, there's always one that burns brightest.
And when he flashes, he is something to watch.
Who will be this week's Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game?
Watch out
on 1010XL.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
It's Thursday. New Hard Rock Bet rewards are dropping.
Nice. Ed Reed, you in?
The only thing I drop is receivers and mics.
Ed, we're talking bonus bets, deposit matches, parlay insurance.
Oh, okay. I'll do that kind of drop.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
What's happening, folks? It's your main man, AT, of course. And whether you're biking through shaded forest trails, casting a line from Camp Chow Pier, or enjoying music by the St. Johns River, Clay County is full of ways to play. This month, experience off-road trails at the 2025 Crawling for the Fallen. Savor bold flavors and classic rides at Moose Haven's 15th annual Chili Cook-Off and Car Show, and celebrate the fall season at fall festivals all across the county. Find a full lineup at ExploreClay.com. Come on, somebody.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
My dad, Randy Marion, has been in business for 35 years.
35 years of taking great care of your customers.
And our community. It has also been 35 years that my dad has been the king of price.
Yep.
So now's the time to fall into savings and drive in style in a brand new Cadillac.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, drive the all-new electric Optique, Lyric, and Vistique. They're all in stock and ready to drive today.
Come see us today at Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
And don't forget,
tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Plus tax type title $9.99 admin fee and resistol on approved credit.
Hey, Jags fans, Tommy Mack here. Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Attention skilled electricians, are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a fight for the last slice of pizza? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Don't ghost your carpet this fall. Hicken here. Right now, you can get your entire home zero-resified from Jacksonville's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139 plus a free haul for Halloween. Get it? There's something scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home. It's in your air ducts. This month, take 15% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
He's a busy man. He is Rafael Esparza. He joins us live from Las Vegas. You getting sick and tired of talking about this? I hope not. We have a fresh audience here who needs the latest from you, Esparza.
You mean I'm not down to talk about South Alabama Georgia State game that kicks off soon?
Hey, if you can make money for our listeners on that game, I'm sure they're all ears.
I did like the under. There's no more value. It's already up to 53.5. It opened up at 56.
There you go. Yeah, you folks in the books, you're always on top of everything. You know stuff before everyone else. Were there whispers about this before it came down today?
Well, most of the stuff has been old news. The betting scandal with all these guys in the sports were pretty much old news, almost 2 years old now. The injury report we found out today, that's nothing new, but that happens in the NFL all the time. I mean, with injuries and quarterbacks not playing and stuff like that, it just doesn't get leaked out, or the FBI is not listening to what they were probing about. But most of these betting prop bets that were busted or they talked about today, we're the ones that caught it. I keep on telling people, everyone's blaming the sports books and, we put up prop bets, it's our fault, but we're the ones that caught it. I feel like we are the victims today.
All right, so you actually policed all of this.
Oh, yeah. If we didn't catch Rozier on his player prop bet, Vegas, we're the ones that caught that, or not Vegas, but the Vegas police. We sent the alert out to all the sports books, especially here in Louisiana and in Mississippi, which it was happening because it was during a Pelicans game. We're the ones, the sports books are the ones that caught it and say, hey, you know what, something's fishy about this betting prop bet. And that's how it got busted. That's how it came forth. If we didn't have betting prop bets and the offshore books had it, this would still be going on today.
Interesting. Yeah, you said some of this goes back a couple of years ago. We remember the wave a few months ago. It involved the former Florida State basketball player in Malik Beasley, who then was cleared of charges, but then he said the FBI was still investigating. So is this all under one umbrella, or is this totally a separate situation?
I think it is, but I think they're just making an example out of Terry Rozier. I mean, Jones was the only one that was in both indictments that we talked about. Chauncey Billups didn't have any player props. He just had injury reports. But I think Rozier, I think they're going to make an example out of this. And I think this would be a perfect example to take pictures of cord and handcuffs and tell these young kids who are coming into all leagues, not just the NBA, football, even in college basketball. If you're going to place a bet or release information, everything is pretty much notarized on a cell phone. If you place a bet, it's being tracked on everywhere. You will get caught. We will catch it.
Is this a situation where people are just going to do it anyway, and it's happened and they haven't been caught, or the gambling is everywhere? It's every stadium you go to. It's television. It's radio commercials. I mean, everywhere you look, there's an opportunity to legally gamble.
I think we've had this discussion before. If we didn't, I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but this happens all the time in England. How many soccer matches have been fixed? How many tennis matches have been fixed? It's just here. It's the NBA. It's the United States. The world is falling.
What we need is to get back to a healthy sport where there was never any problems or any fixes that were in. That, of course, is boxing.
Exactly. It's funny how, there's so many bad vices, and sports gambling probably has the best policing. Like, if you watch a game, what's the first commercial that you see? A Budweiser, an alcohol commercial. And that same person that's drinking at a bar maybe placed a bet but had too many, and he drives and gets in an accident. They're probably going to talk about he was at the bar gambling and not talk about all the drinks he had.
Very well said. All right. How has this affected the books?
It's affected. Luckily, there's only 2 NBA games today, so we really can't tell if it's going to affect it or not. I think the reason why it's probably not going to affect that much, because if you listen to the indictments, they kept on saying props. They didn't say any games were fixed. They didn't say a game was moved 4 or 5 points, and they were always mentioning the word prop bets. So I don't think it's going to affect game-wise. But I think down the road, I think we're going to see here in the States, they're going to do some changes in the player prop bets, and it's only going to make it worse. Because if you're going to fix a game, then they'll just go offshore or go to a guy at a bar and place his bets there, and then we won't be able to police it.
All right, let's wrap it up with the World Series. And before we get there, Ohtani's name was brought up. His interpreter, took a ton of his money and did whatever he did with it and lost it. But, I mean, there was a point where people were, I guess, wrongly pointing fingers and saying Ohtani knows what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think he really did, because most of his bets were on soccer. It was nothing on football and baseball. And if you look at the guy, the interpreter's track record, he was a huge soccer watcher. He played on soccer before he was Ohtani's right-hand man. I mean, did he know maybe his guy was a little fishy? Probably, but you have to figure Ohtani gets gazillion dollars sent overseas. Not even talking the United States money that he gets. So I would probably lose track of all that as well.
The World Series. Looks like Bo Bichette could be back. They're saying that he will, maybe as a second baseman on a shortstop. Any Toronto money has just been overwhelming on Los Angeles?
The small guys love Toronto. They love to see the little guy beat the big guy, but all the sharps love the Dodgers. This one opened up at $245. They get bet for the series price all the way down to $225. And now some books have it at $270, $250. So I think the sharps were waiting to see how low it would get, and then they pounded the Dodgers.
Raphael, tell us about your show.
My show just changed a lot today, so we're going to be interesting to see how we're going to handle stuff on my point of view of certain prop bets. I mean, I've already had companies. Am I going to do what NBA star is going to get arrested next? So I'm going to, pump my brakes a little bit and just do entertainment and political odds and wrestling odds right now, and then maybe sit back and let the dust clear a little bit for sports betting prop bets, the weird ones.
Always a pleasure, sir. Enjoy yourself, and we'll do it again next week.
Take it easy. Have a great weekend.
All right, there he goes, Rafael Esparza. I just received a tip here from Amit Patel, who tells us to play the over tonight in the Minnesota-Los Angeles game.
Rafael is so true about that, though. I mean, anything with gambling and, when you see anything that's like anything of this situation, They're the first ones because they don't want the games to be fixed.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a busy guy, too. He goes back and forth between – he's now deeply involved in New Orleans. So he goes back and forth to New Orleans and Vegas. And, you have the casinos in New Orleans now. I don't know. I think they're all on the river. I don't know how that exactly works, again, because I don't play it. But, listen, that Ohtani story was weird, okay? And there's a lot of people out there that believe, he was the last guy that you wanted to have anything at all mentioned with gambling. And I'm not saying they swept that under the rug. I mean, obviously, they thoroughly investigated it. That story went away.
Yeah, it did. And it went away fast. It wasn't like it was, a big story and then, it was here for a couple weeks. No, it was big story, couple days, boom, gone.
There's a lot of folks who will say, why would you do this? You have enough money. Why would you do it? What? You're addicted. It's an addiction. Gambling's just like alcoholism, man. I mean, it's drug use. It's binge eating. We're so flawed, each and every one of us, and we have weaknesses. I feel so awful for people who cannot get through a day or a week without having to bet on a game. And I often say that I saw this at its worst when I was tending bar in Tallahassee at Docks. And this was in the early 90s. But, Dylan, you'd see guys throw glasses, throw chairs over a $25 bet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All the time. And it's not talking about the athletes. Like Leon was talking about this on the show earlier, XL Primetime, and he's like, it doesn't mean anything. That's how athletes are because they're competitive with women, with cars, with houses, and now with gambling. And now how ubiquitous it is. It's the same thing. It's anything different.
Interesting. I never really thought about it that way. The competitive nature, because usually when you talk about competition, you talk about going up against someone else. In this case, you're going up against the book.
Yeah.
You're not going, and unless it's just hey, he's your buddy and you're betting him $100 straight up, then it's a one-on-one wager, which I don't even know if that is legal or illegal. I've never done the due diligence on that. I don't know if I can just say to you right now off air, I got $100 on Minnesota tonight. You got LA,
Right.
I don't know how that works. I honestly do not, but you still, and hey, as I said earlier, okay, you really want to make a mountain out of a molehill? Dive into the PGA Tour. Dive into that. And I'm not here to ruin anything. I love those guys. I love golf. But that is a creature. You talk about a bad habit and a creature of a bad habit. Okay? I mean, just look at Phil Mickelson. And, yeah, I read the book by Alan Shipnuck, and, take it for what it is. It's one side of the story. Even Phil admitted to, quite a bit, but I just... And I'm not saying they do it out here at the Players' Championship. I don't want you to misconstrue what I'm saying. I highly doubt that, one guy's 130 out, one guy's 125 out, and they say, let's put $1,000 on who gets closest to the pin during the Players' Championship. No, that doesn't happen. But during a practice round, or when they go out somewhere when the cameras are not on, is it the same thing as you and I putting together a $100 bet on tonight's game? Again, I don't know the rules here. I don't know the laws here. But that's always been a huge deal involved. Here's something else, too. Let's head to this break. Playing cards, bro.
Oh, Chauncey Billups and poker. There was some, I don't know if you saw this podcast clip. This was from years ago. Some professional poker player. He was like, I walked in there one time with Chauncey Billups. He goes, I knew cheating was going on. Never went back.
Yeah, and I believe it. But I'm talking about legendary plane rides in baseball is a sport I think of.
Or basketball with Jordan.
Yeah, when you go from city to city and you're rolling dice and you're playing cards, think of the amount of money that is switching hands in situations like that.
Yeah, and it's like you heard the like in The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, he's like, dude, I'm the last guy on the team. Why do you need my money? He goes, because I want your money in my pocket.
Yeah. I forget that part. I do. I have to go back and look at that. I forget that particular segment in what was a very good documentary. All right. Thank you to Rafael Esparza. We got much more to do with you tonight till 8.
Big number one Duval Ford is trusted by Duval families, Duval businesses, and law enforcement across Florida. We're Jacksonville's largest Ford dealer by new Ford sales with the biggest service facility to keep everything in your driveway and in your fleet on the road. Shop Big number one Duval Ford on Cassett Avenue for our low prices and nationally recognized service-first experience. Big number one Duval Ford, proudly serving North Florida since 1916.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296. Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429. Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Bold City named 904 Gutters with a Z, the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the team's O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
I know two brothers whose minds are always in the gutters.
Hi, I'm Tim.
And I'm Kevin.
We are the Good Brothers.
That's good with an E.
From Good Brothers Roofs and Gutters.
We install 6 and 7-inch seamless gutters, plus we repair and replace roofs, pool enclosures, and super gutters.
We are the Good Brothers, veteran-owned and local.
Visit goodbrothersroofsandgutters.com.
License number CCC 1334384.
Good Brothers Roofs and Gutters.
Northeast Florida Auto, Power Sports, and RV dealers. Tom McMahon is here for Dealer Connect. The nation's #1 AI conference for dealers is coming to Jacksonville October 29th and 30th at the Marriott Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach. It's 2 days of tackling the future of AI in automotive with some of the industry's biggest names. Keynote speaker, Hall of Famer Joe Theismann will autograph items to benefit the Tom Coughlin J Fund. Get tickets now at DealerConnect2025.com. That's DealerConnect2025.com.
I love my propane company. They always answer when I call and give me great prices and fast service. Said no one ever.
Until now. Need propane for your home or business? Seabreeze Propane is bringing the propane as North Florida's new local propane provider. Visit SeabreezeLP.com. Seabreeze Propane. We make propane cool, brother. Oh, yeah.
October means Brakes for Breast at Expert Automotive, who's teamed up with TechNet so you can get or give $40 and help us put the brakes on breast cancer. The entire month of October, schedule a brake job at Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff, and Expert will match TechNet's $40 give or get, giving $80 back to you or Brakes for Breast to put the brakes on breast cancer. Book online at expertautojacks.com. Visit us at St. John's Bluff or call 374-3373. Help Expert Automotive put the brakes on breast cancer.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Well, we talked a lot about it, but a big scandal going on in the NBA. Involves a Hall of Famer, LeBron James, and his health information by a former coach, allegedly Damon Jones. Also involves the mafia, 4 families, hidden cameras, an X-ray on poker tables, which is just absolutely insane, and current coach Chauncey Billups in Portland and current player Terry Rozier in Miami. Thorough investigation underway that involves illegal gambling in the NBA. 79-71, Blue, got to disagree with you on Diami Brown. That move is probably on the general manager. Brown had literally no production in any seasons played and a little spark in the playoffs. We paid him $10 million way over market value. Tough to argue with that right now. It was a one-year show-me deal. Right now he has not earned a contract. I think most people, when they think of Diami Brown, the most successful thing he's done is reverses on 4th and 1, right? Dropped the touchdown in Cincy, and unfortunately has been injured. Could turn things around absolutely in the second half, but I cannot argue with that. 082, and I love to argue. 0827, Blue, the game is too fast for Trevor. Interesting. And we talked in great detail about Trevor during last night's show. And there are those who believe he can't read defenses. There are those who believe that he gets rattled under pressure. There are those who believe the game is too fast for him. You know, all I can tell you right now is, again, I don't entirely disagree with that. It's more of a sit back, wait and see what actually does happen. 0253. The gambling scandal, Rick, hope it doesn't involve college football. We haven't had a big scandal in college football since, well, the Harbaugh deal at Michigan, but that wasn't gambling. When's the last gambling scandal in football? I mean, go back to SMU. Trying to think of the Ohio State stuff under Jim Tressel. Always enjoyed Jim Tressel. The 7 years I was in Chicago, I covered the Big Ten meetings. I'll never forget Maurice Clarett. It came out that he was no longer going to be able to be a part of the team, and I went up to Jim Tressel and said, Jim, the devastating news that Maurice Clarett is not going to be able to play. He looked at me and he says, it's not devastating. It's disappointing, but not devastating. Yeah. And I always will remember that bounce-back quote by Jim Tressel.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Manziel, we found out after the fact how much money he was getting in college, but that wasn't a scandal, really.
Oh, yeah, players getting money is one thing, but fixing games is another. Man, it'd be hard to do in football.
It is.
And, I think, Manziel, I've often, I don't know if I'll ever have time, but I have considered really, I want to write a book, and this is really the premise of my book. But I think I'm going to start in college and take it to the NFL with me. I don't know if I'll ever do it. I mean, it sounds pretty cool to say, hey, I'm going to write a book, and it's going to be fiction. But that's something that I've spent a lot of hours thinking about, is the perfect bet and everything that leads up to it. Starting from being recruited out of high school, going to college, giving a game away here, giving a game away there, getting involved with a hot, just a smoking hot babe who's got mafia ties. And all of a sudden, push comes to shove. The guy wants to get out, but no, he's forced to stay in. It comes all the way down to the Super Bowl. I've thought about writing a book like this. But, man, I don't know. We'll see. Then again, I'm one comment away from being unemployed. I may have plenty of time on my hands to write that book.
Things can change. That's the things can change.
0406, Blue, you better worry about Cam Little. If he's missing when it doesn't matter, what's he going to do when it does matter? It's head games with kickers. You're right. You are right. I love his attitude. He's addressed it. He admits he's going through adversity. Hell, he admitted that a month ago. And I just think he has the right attitude. I think attitude is so big in this. They're all going to miss at times. But, you know, when I saw him last year, when I saw him in camp, I'm thinking Vinatieri. I'm thinking Janikowski. I'm thinking Goskowski. You know, I'm thinking who's the guy who just got in trouble in Baltimore? Tucker. I mean, I'm thinking, you know, the best of the best of the best. And we've seen kickers that, you know, man, we're going to happen to Lambeau. What's going to happen to Myers? Myers couldn't make PATs. He made his field goals here 2 weeks ago with Seattle. So, you know,
Kicking is like golfing. It's a mental game.
Well, yeah, and, you know, we did our show last night based on concerns, and I had 6, 4 on offense and 2 on defense that I think are very valid points. I didn't even put on there Cam Little. I think that is going to be fixable, but we'll be here for it. We'll see. You know, and we got about 15 emails here on medical marijuana. Do we appreciate that? Let's wrap with this. 1192 Blue. All the work went into the Pete Rose investigation over a couple of betting slips. Well, maybe more than that. It shows that the NBA situation could make that look small by comparison. Am I wrong? Or could this actually force the league to suspend operations? No, they won't suspend operations, but I think those involved, you know, their days are done. And I'm saying that without knowing what's going in. If I was going to set percentages right now on those involved, I would say slim to none. But I don't know how significant it is. I don't know how correct it is. These are allegations. But as far as shutting down the whole league, no. That's not going to happen. I mean, you could have made that same claim when the Ohtani stuff came up with his interpreter. Major League Baseball got right on it and you know, found their culprit and moved on. Yeah, the Pete Rose deal does sound a little bit. I think it was your word, minuscule. But Pete's no longer with us. Pete's going to get in the Hall of Fame someday. Joe Jackson should be in the Hall of Fame, too. Joe Jackson was not involved in the Black Sox scandal. The guy hit like 380 in the World Series. But unfortunately, that's what those two are most known for. Hacker Nation. I got a bet that he's going to be in here in about 4 minutes. And then his show is in 14.
The Gator Boys are back and ready to defend their national title.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
This is Gator Country. Your home for Gators hoops is 1010XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Food that's good for you can taste good too. Flame Broiler has protein-packed bowls to fuel your day. Introducing their new chicken avocado salad bowl. Made with romaine lettuce, rice, cabbage salad, and topped with a delicious house sesame dressing. It's a bowl full of goodness. Eat in, take out, or catered. Flame Broiler is easy to enjoy. Come in Monday through Sunday for happy hour, 2 to 5 p.m. for a chicken mini bowl and drink for $6.95 plus tax. 5 area Flame Broilers to serve you.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask. So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Make Honda of the Avenues your first stop for award-winning customer service and world-class Honda vehicles. Our inventory is larger than ever, which means we have the perfect Honda waiting for you. Plus, at Honda of the Avenues, we always put our customers first, making the car buying experience fun, fast, and easy. You'll always find great deals on our huge selection of new and certified pre-owned Hondas, all prepped and ready for a test drive. Come see just how different car buying can be at Honda of the Avenues today. Stop by or shop from home at HondaoftheAvenues.com. Proud sponsor of Sporting Jags.
For your chance to win tickets to see Caitlin Clark, all-time women's college point scorer and WNBA star at the Florida Forum October 29th, text FORUM to the Lifetime Flooring text line at 641-1010.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
We are just underway in Indianapolis, for crying out loud. 3-2 Oklahoma City over Indy. Where else would we rather be than taking this game in for the next 2 hours?
The NBA needs a couple of good games tonight. They need a good
They only
game
have two,
here.
I guess.
Yeah, they need something to take off the stench around the league. I mean, Terry Rozier's career is over. You're not going to recover from that with the gambling stuff. You know, he was in Orlando last night with the Miami Heat, and I thought it was weird that he was healthy and did not play. So now, in hindsight, Miami probably knew something. Chauncey Billups was coaching a basketball game at midnight Eastern time, and then this comes out earlier today. Just absolutely crazy stuff.
And I'm surprised. I know I shouldn't be, because there's been other scandals before in the NBA with officials and what have you, but yeah, I just feel like it's all over the place, man. I mean, every radio commercial, television commercial, the names of stadiums, everywhere you look, there's legal gambling. It's got to be tough on some of these players and coaches.
The absolutely hysterical thing. Did you see what ESPN did?
Dylan was telling me about it
Oh,
earlier.
it was great.
I don't watch ESPN unless there's a game on.
Yeah, so Get Up this morning, they're trying to get all serious about gambling as the bottom line ticker is giving the ESPN bet odds for each game, and they just subtly took it off as Greenberg is in the middle of his narrative. It was pretty good, but pretty awful timing by whoever put that up there. Can you remember a time in professional sports? Now, Tim Donaghy is an official. When he wrote a book about it, he went to prison for that. But a time where a player has been arrested for essentially throwing a game. I mean, that's what Terry Rozier is basically being accused of, taking himself out of a game, lying about an injury so that anybody that bet the under, which apparently were a bunch of his buddies, would cash in over $200,000. I mean, that's fixing a game. That's fixing a bet. Has anything like this ever happened in pro sports?
In pro sports, I'm not sure. Certainly in college, you can go back to the Goodfellas, and when Ray Liotta's playing Henry Hill, and we had the Philly Godfather on earlier, that was part of his principle, where it was Mike Mayock's roommate at BC and another basketball player. That's when, what was her name? She was married to Dick Stockton. Leslie Visser.
Okay, yeah.
Was on the BC beat. And they shaved points. So we know it's happened in college, and that's a prime example. I'm trying to think if there was ever anything that's ever been proven of fixing games in professional athletics. It's a good question. I don't have an answer for it.
I mean, people have cheated. I mean, we've had corked bats and steroids and stuff like that. But, I mean, legitimately fixing a game for your buddies who are betting on you in particular. Now, again, all this is alleged. And the NBA really dropped the ball on this, because I remember this came up before. And Rozier there was an issue with him about a year ago, and he was essentially cleared by the NBA. Obviously, they didn't dig far enough, because now the FBI is involved and he's under arrest.
It's so hypocritical. It's amazing. I mean, you mentioned ESPN. Think of the amount of money ESPN makes from those gambling services.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, radio, television, teams, the millions of dollars that college and pro teams make from these legal books and casinos and what have you, and then the players see it, the coaches see it, and then you turn around and you say you're not allowed to do that. This is only for the fans. I'm surprised. Honestly, there's not more.
People never really think about this. Why do injury reports exist?
Well, it's always been because of
there
gambling.
is no other reason injury reports exist except for gambling.
You know what their answer is? Their legal answer is to not allow one team to have an advantage over another team because something may leak going from one team to another team, which is what gambling is all about.
Yeah.
Getting leaks.
So crazy night, crazy story in the NBA, and we'll see. I was waiting. Could this thing have developed further into the NFL or into Major League Baseball? We didn't see anything like that. So thank goodness it kind of stopped with the NBA, but clearly a very, very black eye for the association.
I will say this. I think it's easier to throw a game in the NBA than it is in baseball and than it is in football. I don't think you can convince a right guard to fix a game for you. I think you can get a quarterback or maybe a place kicker too.
Yeah.
But that's still suspect. Maybe a pitcher in Major League Baseball. But you can just say to a guy who's a starter or in the rotation who maybe averages 16, you're giving us 4 tonight. You're going to miss 5 or 6 bunny shots that ends up being the difference in a point spread. What else you got coming up?
No, we're going to talk some about that, certainly. The Jaguars, Cecil Shorts, former Jaguar wide receiver. We're really doing a deep dive on Brian Thomas Jr.'s issues. Cecil played 7 years in the NFL as a wide receiver. I think he has a really interesting perspective on Brian Thomas Jr. We'll also hear from the coach, Gerald Ingram, as well. A lot to do with you till 10 o'clock.
All right, have a fun night.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it for us. Thank you to the Philly Godfather. Thank you to Rafael Esparza. Tomorrow, 4 to 6 on the AM. That is going to be the deal. 10-10. Going to replay the Derek Truck interview. Tim Randall live tomorrow. Okay, he's got Oregon this weekend. So, we'll get into that. But, yes, Friday, 4 to 6 on 10-10 on the AM. So that'll be coming up tomorrow. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou. Have a great night. Again, we'll talk at 4 o'clock tomorrow on 10-10.